Beautiful Capricorns, thank you for joining me here. I hope you're all doing amazing. Look at these huge cards, like they're massive. So just bear with me. It's hard for me to shuffle these cards, but they have some very informative messages. So, let's go. Capricorn, whoa, I can hardly get my hands. Adventure. What's going on here? Teamwork. Artfulness. What's going on? Style. So it's like somebody may be want to team up with you to create something here. Somebody likes your style. You got style? Someone has a sense of adventure. I don't know. Maybe this is a boss energy. Wow. Somebody has got precision here. Somebody could be very creative, okay? They could be creating a business, liking somebody's style, getting somebody's guidance here, wanting to work together as a team on some kind of project. It could be a business. Or, yeah, let's see what's going on. This one. Ooh, so you may have a choice to make. Someone is saying, well, it's not so black and white. It's not so easy. What's going on? Name that thing. Process and absorb. The key to wisdom is somebody being bullheaded. Okay. Okay. So somebody could have been labeling someone. You know what I mean? There could be some bias here. Somebody could be being bullheaded. There's some kind of cause and effect here. Oh, yeah. What is going on here? This is like, did somebody label some undeserving villain here? Did somebody label someone as a villain? This is someone who is manifesting and finding peace. Oh, because somebody's got doing something unconventional, or they're not conforming to society, or they're not fitting in. They could have labeled them the villain because they're non-conforming. Like, I'm not going to conform to what society tells me to do or other people. It's like somebody could have, like, labeled somebody because they're non-conforming. And somebody is got the courage and determination and the fearlessness to stand up for themselves. Like, I'm not... somebody's awakening. Oh, somebody, this is a competitor. Let's get into your tarot. So you've got somebody who's labeling someone here because they're non-conforming. It's because maybe they have a difference of opinion about something, or maybe somebody is like, they don't do what everyone else expects them to do, or this could be they don't want to live up to the status quo. So somebody's like labeling someone as the villain. No. Yeah, they're judging someone, labeling someone as the villain here. Why? Because of their own fears and insecurities. Look, so someone is villainizing the Empress. That's too funny. It's someone who's holding a grudge, see? It's someone who's holding a grudge. And so they're trying to make out this Empress as the villain somehow. Why? Because they're winning. And they're very confident. And this is someone who is telling the truth. Oh my God. So they've turned someone into a villain. You know, because they're non-conforming. They're not going to conform to what other people want. They're not going to conform to what this person wants or other people. So they villainize them. Just saying. Somebody's just like, I don't know if this is them. They got a choice to make. Who they going to believe? They going to believe other people, or are they going to believe the Empress? But they don't. Somebody's labeled the Empress as, like, because they're non-conforming. This is somebody who's confident enough to stand up for themselves, speak their truth. And look, if you got an issue with the Empress here, that would be their own fears, their own insecurities. It's like someone villainizing, making the Empress look like they are the villain in a situation when they're not the villain. It's that they spoke the truth. They stood up for themselves. They are not going to be compliant. They're not going to be, they're non-conforming. I'm not going to live up to your standards. I'm going to live up to my own standards. I'm not going to live up to what other people want me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And so they could have villainized the Empress as being stubborn. This is somebody who knows what they want. They're clear, they're decisive. They say what they mean what they say. This is somebody who is highly respected, treats people with honor, integrity, and expects the same in return. So it seems like someone's crying over spilled milk here. because they've been blaming and accusing, and I don't know, they're villainizing somebody. The Empress and perhaps the Empress's family for being stubborn or for being, because they're nonconforming. Yeah, well, it's no friend of the Empress, that's for sure saying that, but it definitely is, this could be fake friends, this could be fake family members, this could be people who are in competition, or the fact that somebody stood up for themselves. Like, it could have been that the Empress stood up for themselves and stood up for their family. And too bad what other people think and want. They're clear, they're decisive, so they could have labeled them as, oh, they're really stubborn, or they are really a certain type. This is like a stereotype. Well, guess what? I'm going to stereotype here and go, they're of the good kind. This is the kind of person that we all should seek to be. Honest, decisive, clear-minded, confident, proud, stable. This is a builder, someone who builds, because they're strong. It's like people, who are you going to believe here? You're going to believe the Empress? You're going to believe the Empress's haters? Look, this person is strong. They're brave, they're courageous, they're honest, they're loving, they're nurturing, and that's why they're getting a victory. They have independent thinking. They're enlightened. You know what I mean? This is guarded. This is owl energy, wisdom. Independent thinking, and enlightened. This is someone enlightened. So people like to villainize people who know the truth, and they like to make villains out of people who speak the truth or are courageous enough to speak their truth. So they got to make them the villain, right? To, counteract whatever they do or say. Like, whose side are you on here? Basically, whose side are you on here? I mean, this person is expanded. This person is very positive. They have expansion. They're enlightened. This person is enlightened. And maybe they are a powerful manifester. I don't know. But someone over here could be calling them a fool. Oh, they're foolish for thinking that. Or they're foolish for their opinion. Or they're foolish for their decision. Well, it's nice to sit back and comment on other people, but this person's doing it. Seeing is believing. This is someone who is doing it. They are putting their money where their mouth is. They are taking action. They are a builder, not a destroyer. So why is it that... Oh my God, get over yourself. This is someone highly spiritual. So, this could be a stereotype. Well, they're spiritual, those spiritual people, they're spiritually enlightened. You know what they are. You know what I mean? Somebody is like, well, I would rather listen to the truth than a lie. Someone interfering. It's always what it is. Always interfering and mocking, making fun of someone. Like, I'm just saying. Saying some pretty hurtful things. And these things are lies. These are fakes. These are fake people. Like, these are backstabbers. And they seem to be backstabbing the Empress and the Empress's family. It's like they villainized them. They've turned them into the villains, and they are not the villains. These are genuine people. These are genuine good folks. They work as it's because people are, they don't comply with how other people think or do things. These are people who are non-conforming. They don't care what people think of them. They're going to do what their truth tells them to do, and that's just the way it is. They're not afraid to stand. They're not afraid to say what they believe. They're not afraid to speak out. They're not afraid to hide behind other people. Like, let's keep it realistic here. This is somebody who will, they're going to speak their mind, and they're going to speak their truth. And if nobody likes it, that's too bad for other people. Very, very, and other people are like, oh, you gotta conform, you gotta do what everybody else is doing, you gotta follow the crowd, no, this person's different. They don't go along with what everybody's belief system is, and they're not afraid to speak their mind. So when someone doesn't conform, they turn them into the villain. It's just the way it is. Oh, whatever. It's because they're powerful. So who else do they slander? These people here are truth tellers. They're not going to conform to society. They're not going to conform because other people want them. They're going to follow their truth. And that's just... so who better to villainize than someone who speaks their mind and doesn't conform? Maybe they have different views. Maybe they... this is slander. Someone has villainized and slandered the Empress's family. Maybe their children. being a know-it-all, thinking that somebody is smarter than, or their opinion is correct, or that proof is in the pudding. Idealisms, yeah. Well, because someone's trusting their own instincts is throwing somebody else off. So people could then question their competence. Are they competent? Do they know what they're doing? Oh God. Just someone very gracious. And very determined. Oh, they anticipated this. It's because they're not afraid to be a leader. This is a leader and not a follower. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, that's for sure. Good God. What? Is this politics? Is this religion? Is this tradition versus spirituality? Because they're nonconforming. See, they're nonconforming. They feel divinely guided. Like this. Look. This is teamwork making the dream work. Someone's following their destiny. And having fun doing it. But it's like I don't know if this is humanity or if this is some kind of political view or religious view. These are people that are going against the play it safers. These are people who are living life to the beat of their own drum. They're non-conforming. So does the authoritarians have a problem with that? Yes. If anybody who disagrees, Like, what is this freedom of speech or freedom to live your life as it's your own life? What does everybody want everybody to be the same or live in a little box? Or can people think outside the box? These people think outside the box. These people are non-conforming. Anybody who is non-conforming is generally a threat. So it's like, then they villainize people like that, make them the villains somehow, because they are non-conforming. They don't agree. They don't agree with the policies, or they don't agree with what the statements are being made, or they don't agree with certain things. So it's easy to villainize people who think for themselves. They're not sheeple. And that's what I call sheeple. People who just, I was told to me, like, I was raised on a farm. Well, I wasn't raised on a farm. I spent my children, early years, were on a farm. Okay, so I spent many years on a farm. I wasn't personally raised on a farm, but my kids pretty much were. And so, and I had always put the cattle through the chutes and into the corrals, and it's like, you get that one damn cow to take the lead, and all the other cows follow in suit. It's like, so you gotta get a cow who's like pretty complacent, you know what I mean? And then all the other ones follow. It's like weird, man. It's like they're easily led. You know what I'm saying? Whereas some of the cattle, they'd be like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to put me in the chute. I ain't getting no needle. And there's hell to pay. Let me tell you, like, guys, I literally went flying through 4 2x10 fence rails. And like I was a toothpick. I broke all 4 boards. Like, clear through them. I got kicked so hard by one of these kettles, like, I ain't doing what you say. And this is kind of what I'm getting at. It's like you got your sheeple and those who aren't afraid to speak their truth or live their truth. And they are called the nonconformists. You know what I mean? And that's what's here. Man. So then, because they're non-conforming and they don't go along with what everybody tells them to do and tells them how to think and tells them how to live, then they're labeled. That's what's going on here. It's almost like someone followed the crowd. Okay, so this person is different. These people are different. There's no question about it. But it doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. They're honest, hardworking people. But they are tired of trying to conform here. I don't know what to say about this. Like, I personally am pretty proud of people who aren't afraid to speak their mind or to live their life as they want to live it. But anything that goes against the belief systems of others then they get villainized. They turn them into the villains. So that's what's going on here. These are sheeple. Like, I'm going to follow the crowd. I'm going to do what my friends do, and I'm going to do what this one did, and I'm going to do... These ones think independent. These ones have learned to think for themselves. These people have learned to think independently. And they live their life independently. It's like... And they're happy doing it. Leave them alone. It's like, if people are happy and they're not doing anything to anybody, leave them alone and let them live their life. You know what I mean? They're not, but it's just because they don't conform to what society wants them to do, or what. They're not doing anything wrong here. They're just not. They're not hurting anyone. They're not doing anything wrong, but they've been villainized. People have made them the villains because they didn't go along with their plan or their strategy or someone else's viewpoints or someone else's view. I congratulate people like that. The last thing we need is wouldn't it be a really boring world if we all thought the same? Did the same? Like, line them up like cattle? And maybe someone is saying, I ain't gonna be sheeple. I ain't gonna be cattle. I'm gonna live how I want to live. And I'm not conforming to what everybody wants me to do. These are the rebels. You know what I'm saying? But they're that way because they've learned to think for themselves. And it's like, other people may find that a threat, quite honestly. So, discredit them. You know what I mean? Discredit them. That's what somebody's thinking. I'll just discredit them. I'll make them look like they're crazy, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they're misinformed, or we'll make things hard for these people because they're not going along like sheeple. So... I never forget that picture in my mind when that cow hightailed and kicked me so hard I went through 4 2x10s. Just like I was a rag doll. Like, seriously. Man, that cow kicked back. And I never forgot that. I'm like, okay, you the boss. You the boss. We'll just try this a different approach. I got that damn cow in the chute, man. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. She was nasty. And that's what I'm reminded of. It's like, you know how we had hundreds of cattle, and it's like putting them through that corral, guiding them around to go through the chute so we could give them all their shots, one by one, one by one, one by one. And I'll never forget that cow doing that, man. She was the biggest, meanest, tallest cow in the entire lot. And man, could she kick. She commanded respect. I can tell you that much. Even so, my kids used to call her the chasing cow because she saw them, she'd beeline for them. Man, she was cantankerous, that thing. It's just she knew that she was bigger than all the other cattle and she could wreak havoc. Like in the chute, she'd be climbing the backs of the other cattle and making life miserable. You know what I mean? But she was not conforming. Not happening. And I kind of like that cow. And I did end up befriending that cow, you know? But she wanted to be treated with respect. Like, don't mess with me. But I gotta say, that cow, she birthed some of the finest stock that we had. Like, she, you know, so... I'm feeling like somebody is defaming somebody and labeling somebody because they're non-conforming. They're not doing the norm. Like, I wouldn't like that very much if everybody thought the same thing and acted the same way. Like, we're not robots. You know what I mean? It's like independent thinking is a God-given right. It is a God-given right. I could be, you know, like training people like they're sheeple. I don't go with that stuff at all. You know, do what other people do because other people are doing it, or going along with the crowd has never been me. And I hope it never is. You know, this morning, Capricorn, I sat down enjoying my coffee and looking out the window, and I couldn't help but give gratitude for this time, my time on this earth. It's like, what a beautiful world we truly, truly have, and the things we should be grateful for. The colors, the wind, the sounds, everything about it. It was here for us to enjoy our lives. And for us to think for ourselves. These are our God-given rights. And I don't think I'll ever conform. They'd be waiting a long, long time. I think when I'm really, 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 really old, I'm going to be like that damn cow in the chute. I am not taking my medicine. I don't know. We get, you know, the older we get, the more passive they say you get, but I don't know. I think we're meant to think for ourselves as long as we're healthy enough to do so. Take care.